What's up, everybody? First off, I would like to officially announce I'm changing my name to Focaccia Bagel. It's like bagel, but more bellissimo. So, Focaccia Bagel, what are we doing today? So, okay, there was a stream, imagine that, a stream the other day. One of my friends, Archr, was streaming, and he was coming up with different ideas for some of these Light&Dark Nat 5's that people think need buffs, that people are... I mean, not that many people are using them, but also they're Light&Dark Nat 5, so not that many people have them. But he was proposing some different ideas for Light&Dark Nat 5 buffs on a few of these monsters, a few of the more monsters that need buffs, and some nerfs to the monsters that need nerfs. So, I thought, what a good idea to talk about them, because I think some of the ideas were kind of interesting. So let's address some of them, and also, this gives me a good opportunity to plug his channel, or gives him a good opportunity for me to plug his channel. I don't know, either way, this is his channel, go subscribe to him. I'll leave a link in the description. Let's get his subscribios up to 1 million, or at the very least 1,000. That's a reasonable goal. I feel like we should shoot for 1 million, and if it's 1,000, okay. But anyway, these are his ideas. Let's talk about them and see what we feel. He's got some good ideas, though. He's got some good ideas. He's got some cool videos as well. He also has a stream, twitch.tv/ArchrSW. I think that's it. I don't know what it is. I have no idea. He's one of my friends. I don't know what it is. I don't know that I click the follow thing and then I just say, oh, he's streaming. Let me go yell at him. That's basically how we do it. Okay, so anyway, what are some of the monsters that we? Oh, jeez. The Nat 5's, Light&Dark Nat 5. It's gotta be on everyone's list, right? What do you even do with him? I mean, like, I know what to do with him. Storage. So that's what you do. But aside from that, Gildnir. So his proposed idea was at 5 stacks, save unit from death or resurrect an ally at 50% HP. I think that's good. I mean, for right now, you really don't see him anywhere. I thought he would be used in some arena defense, but you don't even see him there. So he's got this Guild War Leader skill, attack power. I feel like this lends itself to be more of an aggressive unit. Like, I feel like maybe even his leader skill needs to be changed to like a global HP leader or something. That would make more sense for the monster that he is. If he's an HP support type unit, I feel like his leader skill needs to be, like I said, needs to be changed. Or he should be more of an aggressive damage dealing control style unit with a leader skill. Unfortunately, it's just for guild content, but just for, I mean, like, he pales in comparison to Bulwark. Bulwark is like the dark one is crazy too. Dark one is crazy. Water one is crazy. Light one's like, hey, I'm super rare, but not as good as the water one. He needs a buff. Like, I would be sad to get him. Like, I'm really like, I hope I don't get him. He looks cool. Maybe I would hope I would get him because he looks cool. He looks really cool. But what the do you even do with this boy? Like, I don't think I would ever use him. Like, I know some of mine need buffs. Some of my Light&Dark Nat 5's need buffs. This guy needs them more. Come to us if you could only buff like 3 units in the next patch. Do me after that. I'll take a pass. Buff Gildnir. Some of the other ones need a little bit more. A little bit more. Yeah. So he had the idea, but I think coupled with that, coupled the 5 stack save unit from death or resurrects an ally, I think also a leader skill change to be like support the tankiness, like defense, HP resistance, something like that, to make more sense. The speed is not bad, but I just feel like that should be more on a aggressive unit. Oh, here's the next one. Oh, speaking of, no, not this one. Not that, buff that one though. Buff that one. This one I can get along with. Okay, so his idea, not mine, his idea. AoE Oblivion, 2 turns on skill 3. I'll take that buff. I won't even couple. I mean, if we can couple that with a 2-turn defense break, I'll be happy. 2-turn defense? And then also a leader. Okay, you can't have everything, Bagel. You can't have everything. AoE Oblivion and a 2-turn defense break, though. That would be, I could live with that. AoE Oblivion, though, like, dungeon leader, that still wouldn't make sense, though, for him. It still wouldn't make sense. So why does he have, I mean, I mean, this is by a long shot at this point, he's the worst one. So, he has a defense break, though, which is Almost as good as Bella's, so that's a thing. This isn't even 100% chance, by the way. That's it's a glancing hit. It's not even as good as Tyrant's second skill. Dear Lord. But the Oblivion wouldn't really make a whole lot of sense in dungeons. But then again, the rest of the Beast Monks don't make sense with their leader skills anyway, so that would still fit with the family. AoE Oblivion would be, oh my god, I would use him. I would actually use him in more than just Veil Siege. I like that. I like that buff. What is the next one? His next idea. He has the idea for Pontos. The idea for Pontos. I like this leader skill. He's got this Holy Ground. Removes all harmful effects on all allies. Grants immunity and invincibility for 1 turn. Increase up to 3 turns proportionate to the number of harmful effects removed for each ally. So, his simple buff. Remove condition on 3-turn immunity. Just invincibility for 1 turn. 3-turn immunity. It would be still better than Chloe, and it wouldn't be conditional. It is a Light&Dark Nat 5. I feel that is a very fair buff. I like it. I feel it is very fair. I don't see why it wouldn't be a thing, right? Do you guys disagree? Do you guys agree? What do you think? I feel it's at the very least. Okay, we do still have music. This computer fan is like, hey, did you want me to be very loud right now? Yes, computer fan, I did. How did you know? How did you know? So Ludia was weird. He said his buff was global accuracy leader and increased speed by 3. I don't know if that's necessarily the global accuracy leader and increase. Why by 3 is my question. I don't understand why 3. Increase base speed by 3. Why not like 15? What is the awakening? Increase resistance. Nah, increase accuracy. We need to increase accuracy or speed on this monster. Then it could be and then the dungeon leader skill, man. The dungeon leader skill. I feel like it needs more than that. I mean, Ludia's already more usable than Jarrah, though, in my opinion. Ludia is like, you could build a Ludia, you could use a Ludia. I know people that have a Ludia, and there's 2 people that use the Ludia. Well, 2 people that have a Ludia. One that they're like, you know what? There's better, but I'll use her. She's a fun toy. I can use her. And then there's another one that's like, I'm not gonna use her until she gets a buff to make her super duper OP. She's pretty though. All these chickens are pretty. Good old pretty chickens. Beggar, you want to talk some more about how pretty those chickens are? I feel like she needs more than that. I don't know. I wasn't really too pleased with that buff. What do you guys think? Do you disagree with me, or do you agree with Archr, or do you think that it needs to be a little bit more of a buff? What about the dark units? Ooh, dark units. Let's talk about these dark units, Bagel. Look at all the Light&Dark Nat 5's I have on here. You know what? I didn't realize until now, but it is mostly just light units that I only have 1 dark Nat 5 on here. What is the first one on? Oh, this fan is really going crazy. The fan is like, let me make enough noise. Noise. Thank you, fan. Anyway, do you guys hear it? Is it just me? Okay. Anyway. Grogan, increased chance to stun skill 2 to 50% after max. I love Grogan's 3rd skill, by the way. I really do like it. 100% increased crit damage on critical hits, and defeated enemy cannot be revived. This makes sense in the current meta of, there's a lot of Samoth, there's a lot of Pernas, there's a lot of different Vanessas. There's a lot of stuff Grogan makes sense. And I think a lot of people are like, he doesn't stun anything with his skill 2. I'm like, yeah, but you could still use his skill 3. Like Zyros, you don't build Zyros because he's got dots on skill 2. That's not the purpose of Zyros. So I feel like, I mean, definitely Dark Storm is kind of a poo-poo for a 2nd skill. It's a quadruple hit though, but quadruple hit could be nice on some things, like especially if you're going to get against Trianas and things like that. But it's so low activation rate. If they bump this up. Increased chance to stun a skill 2 to 50% after max skills. It's a 4 hit though. Each attack has so if each attack has a 50% chance to stun the enemy, that would be basically a 100% chance for. I mean, it's not 100%, right? It's not 100%, but first hit has a 50% chance, second hit has a 50% chance, third hit has a 50% chance, fourth hit has a 50% chance. Like, you know they're getting, in real life, you know they're getting stunned. After 4 hits at 50% chance each, you know that stuff is getting stunned. It's getting stunned. So, It could even be like 40%. That would be good. That would still be that would be good. That would be good. He has a resistance leader skill, so the resistance leader skill is kind of poo-poo doo-doos. It doesn't make sense with the monster that he is, though. The resistance leader skill. So, but again, this is Summoners where half the monsters' leader skills don't make sense with what they're supposed to do. It's been like this for 5 years now, so I don't... Who knows? I mean, sometimes they change stuff after 5 years, but... Who knows? They just flip a coin. I feel like it's all RNG. Like, I feel like they go into balance patches and they're like, okay, let's spin a big wheel. And then they spin the wheel and whatever lands on it, it gets buffed or nerfed. They're like, oh, okay, Rakshasa family. Okay, let's buff the Rakshasa family out of nowhere. Anyway. So Grogan's skill 2 makes sense to buff. That's the one that's the weak skill. And, the third skill is nice though. I like the third skill. And then the leader skill doesn't make sense, but Shazam, same situation. Laura, 3-turn. Okay, so here's the. That's not Laura. That's a light monster. He doesn't know colors. 3-turn immunity instead of defense buff. So here she has an attack power break and a defense buff. I kind of like this because the enemy is not for the same reason that I like Alexandra, right? You're not going to bring Alexandra into everything. I know people are going to disagree. They're going to be like, Alexandra needs a buff. She's garbage. If you have like I have Alexandra, I have Shazam. There is a big difference between those two monsters. There's a big difference. Alexandra does triple what Shazam does on the skill 3. I'm saying I own both of them. I can give a unbiased comparison at the very least between the two of them. One does more than the other. One does more than the other. But I feel like I feel the same way about her as I do with Alexandra. Is that she's not a pick in every situation kind of thing. She's like, oh, sometimes like the last pick. You know what? This would be good. Let me pick this one. So, I don't know. I mean, the 3-turn immunity would be a pick every situation, though. 3-turn immunity would be a crit damage leader skill. That wouldn't make any sense. All the occult girls have the same leader skill. That's one of the notes that he had, crit damage leader skill. But yeah, all the occult girls have the same crit rate leader skills on all of them. So immunity would make her pick every turn monster though. Like you can pick her in every match if she's got immunity and an AOE stun. You can absolutely and potentially can reset the immunity as well. That's pretty OP. Like if Ganymede resets her, and then she just helped me Teddy, and she keeps putting things to sleep, and then gets another turn and puts the immunity up. That's a really strong monster. She would be one of the better Light&Dark Nat 5's at that point. Right now, I feel like she's in the middle. I don't feel like she necessarily needs a buff. I know people are going to disagree with me. If they have Laura, they're like, no, she needs to be OP. But 3-turn immunity, I don't see a problem with 3-turn immunity, because Fran has 2-turn immunity, and she's a Nat 3. So Laura having 3-turn immunity, why not, right? I don't know if Comchoice even wants to do more immunity monsters, because they've been trying to stick more strippers. You notice, like, in the balance patches the past year or so, they're trying to, like, give more things strips to make them more viable in RTA, because everyone's just picking the 50 million, or everyone was picking 50 million immunities. It doesn't really work so much anymore, but, because, like, everything you use has a strip. Diana has a strip. Ethna has a strip. Shihao, Ajir, so many things have strips. Lauren, there's Hathor, everything people are picking already has strips in it. Anyway, what is the next one? But yeah, immunity would make her very, like a pick every situation kind of unit. Trinity, I feel like this is the buff that everyone that has Trinity has been asking for this buff. Like, it's not even that big of a... It's not even that big of a thing. She's got an attack power leader skill. She does big damage. All 3 of her skills do damage. But she's an HP tank unit. Like, it makes sense for Vanessa to be an HP tank because she's a unit that revives. But, and also Camila to be an HP tank because she does stuff based on her max HP. But Trinity is still an HP based unit. So I completely agree with the people that are saying, like, buff Trinity at least to be an attack type unit. She's got bad base attack, but she's a damage dealer. All her skills do damage. She's got a leader skill, speed leader skill. She's supposed to be a damage dealer, not an HP tank. It makes sense. I agree with that. It makes sense. It's a simple thing, and it makes a whole lot of sense. Which means it will never happen. It's Summoner's War, it will never happen. What is next? Cadiz. Okay, Cadiz nuts. What I meant to say, Cadiz the vampire. I didn't say anything else. I said Cadiz the vampire, dark vampire. So Cadiz basically heals your whole team. He's got a branding effect with his passive with every hit, and heals all allies by 30% of the damage done. Actually, I totally forgot about that. Whenever you kill an enemy, the attack bar of all allies increase. But you really don't use this. You use this in like... I see people mostly just using this in R5, and they were using it in Dragons, but now you just twins Dragons, right? So I really don't see too much, and especially with the Dark Vampire Lord. Didn't the Dark Vampire Lord just make Cadiz like, hey, Cadiz, well, you also exist. Maybe for the lulz, people can run both of you. So his idea was change all caps. Change everything, make him over again like you did Rakan. Change everything. I mean, kind of... The Dark Vampire just made Cadiz owners like, hey, I guess screw me. Cool, I just happen to have summoned this Cadiz, and now you just give everyone a Cadiz. That's great, because he's basically like the Dark Vampire Lord, which I could see that. I mean, it makes sense. Like I said, the reason that I wanted to do the video was because a lot of the stuff that he said makes sense. I don't agree with all of it, but a lot of the stuff that he said makes sense. He needs to be something else. He could be something similar to what he is, but he needs to be enough of a departure from the Dark Vampire Lord. And also, it would be great if he was like meta relevant and was like, okay, in PvE, the twins. And then the twins get nerfed, but like it would be great for him to be usable in PvP, in like RTA or Guild Wars, or like really shine in one of those places, or like Arena in some place. Because right now he's like I'm like the Dark Vampire Lord. Where are people gonna use me? He was great years ago when the meta was different, right? When things were different. But now it's like he's too close to the Dark Vampire Lord at this point. And things have changed a lot. The game has changed a lot. So while I would have been super happy to get him back in the day, at this point I'm like, I would still be happy to summon him, but I'd be like, what am I really gonna do with him? You know what I mean? So it'd be cool if, it would be cool to change him up a little bit. You don't really see too many Cadiz owners yelling about like, we need to change to Cadiz, but he could use a departure from the fact that he's very similar to Dark Vampire Lord at this point. Everyone got a Cadiz. Free Cadiz for everybody. Jesus. Oh, Jarrah. Jarrah's really good in the Light Rift Beast. Really good there. Super good, easy win. It would be cool if a Light&Dark Nat 5 was good in more places than just that, though. So he's got this also. Enemy can't be revived during the battle, and the cooldown of Dark Nova will be decreased by 1 turn. He said, awaken into Speed Awakening, further buffs to be announced in the future. I have a different idea. What is his, increases accuracy? So here's my thoughts. He doesn't heal like Perna, but what if he did revived himself? What if he did revived himself like Perna? What if he revived himself like Perna? And also had a similar to the Fire Barbaric King passive included, or some mixture between the both of them. Where's the Fire Barbaric King? Where's the Fire Barbaric King? Bypasses death things. Where is he? My brain does not work. Okay, so with the Fire BK, Summary Conviction, when its attack is on... No, that's not it. Attack will ignore all effects that resist death. So, good against things like, man, I gotta start playing with this guy on one of my accounts. Seriously, I gotta start playing with him on one of my accounts. So, why doesn't Jarrah have something like a revive and or something that prevents... You know what I said. The Fire BK thing. Prevents effects that resist death. Is that how they phrased it? Prevents the effects that resist death. Why doesn't he have something like that? So you can do him with you can do it with Garrow. You can just one-shot Garrow. You can just one-shot things that have Triana with it. I feel like it makes sense. And then, like, or a self-revive, like Perna does. I know not all of them have to have a self-revive, but at least Jarrah, I mean, you got some death, revive prevention stuff there. I don't know, one of those buffs at least, right? One of those buffs. Mananananan, endure like Theo or endure like Rocky. I don't even like that. You know what? I think Mananananan needs, more. And I know Thompson, like, if you talk to Thompson's one of the SWC contestants, he's like, oh no, Mananananan is good. And I'm like, he should shine in one area of the game. Because, like, he resets like Okinos, but he doesn't have the control like Okinos. He does damage. So, endure like Theomars could be okay. But I do feel like he needs something more. I really do feel like he needs something more. I'm not sure exactly what I feel like Mananananan needs. I don't know that endure would be it. I just want him to make more sense in... I mean, ultimately, it would be great if he made more sense in PvP, because you want the Light&Dark Nat 5's. You don't want the Light&Dark Nat 5's to do dungeon teams. Like, that's kind of like you want them to shine in endgame. They're super rare monsters. You want them to shine in endgame, not be like if we had a buff that made him better in Dragons B10, you could do so much stuff in Dragons B10. You don't need a Light&Dark Nat 5 for Dragons B10. I don't know. I just wish he had something that made more sense in... What could he have that would make more sense in PvP? Like, I was even thinking about this before Archr was talking about it. I was thinking about, like, Mananananan. I'm like, what can we do to him to make him, like, really shine, but, like, make him really RTA relevant? Like, maybe something with attack gauges, or, like... part of his passive, he like prevents attack gauge manipulation on your team or something like that, so the enemy can't like reduce your attack gauge. That would be crazy. Maybe too OP. Maybe too OP. But yeah, that is Mananananan. He's okay. So he said something about the Hon, and I have a little bit of a different approach, similar but different. He said Hon should have an additional turn after skill 3, just the straight additional turn. What about? Here's another theory, a small buff that would make him significantly more useful. Attack bar recovers by 30% for each strike that lands a critical hit. Diana does full attack gauge increase. He only does 90%. Why not just 5% more? This is not even that much. 5% more attack gauge would give him 105, which means he's basically guaranteed, and he's not going to glance, right, because he's a dark unit. So he's going to have 105% attack gauge, which basically guarantees him a next turn, and also strip 1 beneficial effect with each hit, which makes him very similar to Diana, but he's a Light&Dark Nat 5, and he can't like fully cycle all the time every single time, but it just makes him more like what she can do, but a Light&Dark version. People are like, nope, he can't cycle. He can't cycle the same as Diana does. People already gonna want him to be nerfed. Oh god. People already gonna, that might make him, it's a small change, but that might make him too OP though. Because then you can get turn 1. I mean, if you have him on Swift, right? You can get turn 1, you can triple hit, completely refill your attack gauge, with strip it, and then stun something. But you know what? Gian already does that to AoE, so he would still not be as good as Gian. See, that's not even that crazy. Well, he's got a leader skill though. That's pretty OP. You could have the 1 unit in there and does that. You put him on 300 speed and GG. Kinda. You just put him on 300. That would be kinda OP. That little buff though, that makes him. That's why I want it. That's why I want it, but just 5% more attack gauge and remove beneficial effects. 1 with each hit. Diana would be OP like Diana, which, good or bad. Cold Girl family, increase skill 1 by 5 to 10%. Have you ever seen her proc a million times? There's videos on YouTube where she just constantly gets like 10 turns and then she clears everything because it just helped me Teddy just procs and procs and procs and procs. I don't think we need this buffed. I'm sorry, but I disagree. We don't need this buffed any more percentage. Xerato awaken into crit rate. Why does Xerato need to awaken into crit rate? What does he awaken into right now? Resistance. Why does he awaken into resistance though? I mean, crit rate makes more sense. You know what? I disagree with myself. Crit rate makes more sense. Awaken into resistance doesn't really make any sense. Awaken into crit rate. Awaken into crit rate just means you can put better runes on him overall. So, I mean, it's kind of fair. Kind of fair to awaken into crit rate. I don't know that Xerato needs... I don't know that Xerato needs a buff, but it's not a bad idea. Awaken into crit rate. Makes sense for the monster. It's what the monster should, right? He needs the crit. So, awaken into crit rate is not a bad idea. Let's see what else he said. Kraken. Ooh. Tell me more about this Kraken buff. Tell me more. The Kraken owners are wondering. They want to know. Invincibility and immunity on revive. I don't think that's even that crazy. Invincibility and immunity on revive. That's not even... I personally like Kraken. I would like to summon a Kraken. Leader skill's great for arena. Leader skill's great. I know Scat was having a lot of success with the Kraken arena defense, but also he had crazy runes. And he had a lot of other crazy units that he was bringing with it. And it was a different time. It was the Scat time, the age of Scat fetus. But that's, if you're new to the game, that's someone's name. That's an old player's name. He got like 1,000,000 billion legends every week. Lols. But he had a lot of success with Kraken. She just brings a lot of value. She brings turn cycling. She brings revive with skill reset, and then she has the defense leader skill. Man, if it wasn't a Lucian meta, that would be pretty nice. But it's a Lucian meta, so the defense is basically, well, it is actually ignored. So I feel like if they were gonna buff Kraken, if they felt like Kraken needed a buff, the invincibility and immunity would not be. It would need to be like something else. It'd be like immunity plus 50% HP. So invincibility, immunity, 50% HP. Then that seemed like the best revive, man. Best single target revive at least. Pretty OP revive. What else? Nerfs. Why would things need to be nerfed? I thought this was interesting because he actually said one of the monsters that he uses all the time needs to be nerfed because it's too OP. So he said Gianna should be nerfed. He said Gianna should be nerfed. Increase cooldown on skill 3 by 1. Because it's 4 turn as it is. I feel like she should be... I mean, it is an OP skill. But I feel like she should be... But she's Gianna. She's so pretty. She's so pretty. It's just shocking that he's like, nerf this monster that I have that I use all the time. Nerf it. It needs to be nerfed. It's too OP. At least that's honesty, right? like, hey man, I went on too much with this. It needs to be nerfed. Or maybe too many people were picking it against him, and he's like, F this. If I don't get to pick it, I need this nerfed. Leona, he said Leona he feels is too OP now. Because now she's got the extra damage. Damage inflicted on an enemy will be increased by 30% when you have a shield. He's saying that just makes it too OP. And that it should be the extra damage taken away because it was over buffed. But you didn't really see her before. Now you see her. Although the shield is really annoying. If you fight her, that shield is really annoying. That's why you need beneficial effect block. Got to build that Dark Vampire Lord for Leona teams. Very, very important. What else? Nephthys. Don't nerf my Nephthys, man. I know it's not even on my main, but why you gotta nerf my Nephthys? Don't mess with the Nephthys. So he said, 1 turn on skill 2. So instead of 2 turns for all these debuffs, 1 turn. See, this is already silence for 1 turn. I think the silence is one of the big things. This is, he's saying, but see, the thing is, Pontos likes to keep things in the same family, the same for the most part. So like Bastet has her 2 turns. She has the same thing. Curse of the Beautiful, Curse of the Beautiful, Curse of the Beautiful. So changing that to be a 1 turn. I know they've done it. What monster did they do that with? They did that with one monster. Where like the 1 in the family is just like the odd one and it's different. I don't remember which one it was. Yeah, I don't remember which one it was, but for one of those, it's different. But yeah, I don't know that that's necessarily the. Here's the thing: Nephthys was just buffed. People complained about Nephthys was not good, and I was like, no, Nephthys is good. Nephthys is usable, guys. I have her on my alt. She's usable. She's not bad. And everyone's like, no, she needs to be buffed. So the Comptuous was like, okay, let's buff her. And then everyone's like, Nephthys is OP. She needs to be nerfed. I'm like, what? So you mean I was right the first time? Holy damn. I was right the first time. Imagine that. Imagine that. She was already speedly with an AoE defense break and AoE multi-hit defense break, multiple debuffs. She was already like, people just didn't want to use her. So, they were, I think they were focusing too much on the different things than just like, they were like, oh, well, if the whole team gets Gani Hathord and she's the only one awake, what is she gonna do? Like that, you're focusing on the wrong thing though. It's like, yeah, if the whole team gets Gani Hathord, everything that you have is gonna suck because they just got Gani Hathord in unlimited time. Maybe the Nephthys isn't the problem. Maybe the Gani Hathord is the problem, right? So, I liked her before though, but like maybe a middle ground because she is pretty. I mean, I like using her on my Light&Dark account, but man, she's really strong. I'm not gonna lie, she's really strong. So. I don't know. I just the one turn debuffs wouldn't make sense with the rest of the family being not that. Maybe a different leader skill. Changing the leader skill would make her what does everyone else have? HP, defense, resistance, attack power. I mean you could put accuracy. You put crit rate. Give Nephthys a crit rate leader skill. People will get pissed about that. Yeah, I mean, a lot of things, if you take the speed leads away, it makes them definitely less viable. So, that could be an option. I just don't see them changing the amount. 32 minutes? How did we talk for 32 minutes? Oh my god. I'm sorry, guys. I thought we were talking for like 12 minutes. I always think this. This was like 7.5 minutes per monster. I'm gonna shut up now. Anyway, what do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments below what you think. Are these too crazy OP buff ideas? Are these not enough? I know some people are gonna be like, I'm just looking at Wally and I was like, people are gonna be like, where's Wally? Where's every Nat 5 they have? There's gonna be 25 people in the comment section. This one doesn't need a buff as bad as my XYZ. Where is my XYZ buff? Where is my Thibay buff? Where is my Rahul? Actually, Rahul got a buff. Where is my Dark Monkey buff? Etc. 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 Anyway, because every video. Anyway, that's it for this one. I'm sorry we talked for 33 minutes. Rip the dream. Bagel doesn't shut the hell up. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. I just thought it was a good, I thought he had some good ideas. I mean, of course I disagreed with some, but anyway, go sub to Archr. I will leave a link in the description or whatever, and I will see you as always in, let's get him to 1 million subs. Like, Bagel, there's only 3 of us that watched the whole video all the way through. It's 33 minutes of you not shutting up. Well, okay, the 3 of you that watched, go sub to Archr. I better see 397 by the next time I see his sub count. So anyway, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you as always in the next one.